Hey, thanks so much for joining us again for Neighborhood Connection. I am Tiffany Mercer, and today we've got two very special guests sitting in with us today. And one of them is probably a brand new face that you don't know, but we've got a local, Mr. Dale Willis, sitting in here with us. Thank you for joining us today, Mr. Willis, and Mr. Jerry Clemens. And you are really our guest of honor today. All the spotlight is on you. So thank you both for being here. We're talking about a special event coming up very soon, June 25th, 7 p.m. at Faith Baptist Church. And of course, that's on Highway 17, or as we call it, the Bowman Highway. But you are actually going to be the guest speaker.
Yes, ma'am.
There at Faith Baptist. But Mr. Willis, you are here representing Damascus Road,
Correct.
which is a ministry, a local ministry that
Correct.
you're a part of. And if you would, before we get to talking to Mr. Clemens, if you'll just tell us a little bit about what Damascus Road is and how you reached out and with Mr. Jerry here and got him to come to Elberton.
Damascus Road is a ministry actually started by Joe Durham, and it reaches out to addicts. We have a jail ministry. We go to the jail every Sunday morning and give a service. Then every Thursday night we meet and at Faith Baptist Church at 7 o'clock, and we minister to addicts, any addiction. I mean, it can be food to drugs, just whatever addiction you have, and we're based it's a Bible-based ministry. We have 6 Bible verses that we depend on, and we read every week, and we've had very positive results from this. We try to have several speakers a year, 3 to 4 speakers, and Jerry is the one that will be with us in June the 25th of this month. I met Jerry about a year ago, and we've become friends. He has a testimony that is really a blessing. I've heard it once, and I could hear it many times more, because it is just a true blessing to anybody that hears it.
And you said Mr. Joe Durham was really...
Mr. Joe Durham, he started the program. The Damascus Road program actually started in the prison system of North Carolina. There were a group of men got together, and they put together these Christian-based ministry. And when he moved to Elbert County, he brought the program with him. And then we do it at Faith Baptist Church. And
a big thanks to Faith, and I'm sure they're happy to do that, but letting you use
Faith
that.
has supported us, and we appreciate that. And it's just like a big family, and we encourage anybody that has any addictions to come, because we want to talk with them.
And you said you heard Mr. Jerry's testimony, is that right? And then that's when you said, we got to get this fellow to come here.
Yeah, he is. It's a blessing to anybody to see his music. He writes his own songs. It's just, if you've heard it once, you want to hear it again.
Very encouraging and inspirational, I'm sure. And you got a little slogan or a catchphrase, from disgrace to grace.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
That's right.
And we'll shift our focus over here to you.
Okay.
And you can tell us a little background if you want to, who you were back in the day, with your, and I believe you were in Nashville?
Well, I've been there, I'll have to back up a little bit from there.
Yeah, you back up as far as you need to, and you just fill us in.
Okay, I had, I won't get into all the details, but I had a 13-year-old daughter who was kidnapped and murdered. And after that happened, I just went off the deep end, and I started drinking, started doing drugs. I was mad at God and the world and everybody, anybody. I really had a terrible attitude. I started, I'd get in fights just over not anything, got locked up many times. I don't know, 10 or 12 times. Sometime for a week, sometime for 3 or 4 weeks. And all of the fights could have been avoided, but my attitude was just, I was taking it out on everybody. in the last fight I was in, I hit a man in a bar where I shouldn't have been to start with, of course, and he died. Later, I was sent to prison, sentenced to prison for 10 years. Got out of prison and I always wanted to write music, started writing music, got a band together, moved to Nashville. Actually got a writer's contract in Nashville. Big artists were recording my material, but nothing would ever get released.
So you were writing, you were writing more so than you were playing,
Right.
singing. You were writing.
Yeah, writing and singing, but I was singing in all the wrong places, you
That's
know.
right.
And we got a band, went on the road for years, and just it was drugs and alcohol every day, every day. 20 years of it. Finally got off the road and moved back to, bought a farm in Royston, Georgia, with my mom and dad, and determined to make a new life for myself because I had really gone downhill bad. But I wasn't here but a couple of weeks, and I hooked back up with the wrong people. I was back into drinking every morning, doing drugs every day, got into selling drugs. And a man came along, Chris Pritchett, matter of fact, some of you might know him, from Pleasant Grove Baptist Church. He just got to be friends with me and would want to take me out to eat, and he was telling me all the time about Jesus. And I knew all about Jesus from a child. You know, I was in church all the time. I knew all about him. I knew Bible verses, had all that in my head.
That's right.
But I had never asked Jesus to forgive me and to save me. Well, that's what happened on this day.
Right there on your cap.
Right
I
there on
asked
my
you
cap.
about it. That's right.
Yeah, and the reason I had this cap made, I had always wore a Jack Daniels hat or Earl Haggard or somebody. Never went anywhere without a hat. And I was just, it was like the Lord said, you need to let people know, because He tells us, He wants us to tell people what happened to us and how awesome He is. So I had this hat made, and I guess I've got, I don't know, 20 or 30 of them now, you know, but I never go anywhere without it. And people ask, well, what happened on that day? And I get to tell them, and some people get so involved in it. We've even led people to the Lord that asked me what happened on that day. So it's all about Him anyhow, it's not about me. And so the Lord just opens doors for me all the time. That's why I'm going to be at Faith Baptist Church.
That's right.
We get called to go out of state, different places, and I just want to see people get to know Jesus, and so their lives can change for the better.
And you've got quite the story. He's got quite the story here. And of course, can't share all the details right now, because that's why we need you to come out to faith. But you did share a little bit, you know, before we started rolling, and it is quite incredible. But I did not realize that about your daughter there.
Yeah, I had, when the men were caught, you know, she had been missing 2 months. I'll tell this part. In court, these were guys that all tattooed up in earrings, long hair. They were caught and arrested, and as a trial, they showed up with 3-piece business suits on, short haircut, no beard, no earring. Looked like, you know, everyday businessman. And one of them got down off the witness stand and looked down at me and smiled, and I tried to kill him right there. I jumped on him. I would have killed him if they hadn't. I meant to kill him. But
And I can understand that as a parent. I can understand where you know, that's just human nature, being bitter and angry.
Kept that bitterness in my heart for so many years. Wow, you know, the Bible says if we're not willing to give those who forgive have done us wrong, He's not willing to forgive us.
And that's a tough thing to do. You can't do that on your own.
Can't do it on your own. One day, one day that happened, and it was like, hey, there's something you had never done. And
That's where it all turned
got
around.
on my knees and just asked him for forgiveness,
That's
for
right.
those guys.
Yeah.
But what a relief it was, it was like a weight had been, I was carrying all that hate in my heart, not even realizing it, But I
And
tell
that's
people that,
heavy. That's heavy to
Yeah.
carry around.
yeah,
To wear on
but
you.
but it's not just, it don't have to be a big thing like that. If we're holding anything against anybody, we need to let it go. We need to ask those people to forgive us, or we need to forgive people who we've done wrong. Just open you up and free you up.
That's right. Quite the story. And I'm sure that's just a little bit of it there.
That's just a little bit of it.
that
You'll
we
have
got
to come to hear the
That's
rest.
right. And if you're just tuning in with us today, we are talking with Mr. Jerry Clemens, and he is giving a testimony coming up on June the 25th at Faith Baptist Church, and he has got quite the story to tell. And it's something you don't want to miss. Of course, that is on Bowman Highway 17, 7 p.m. on the 25th. And thank you for joining us. We've also got Mr. Dale Willis in here with Damascus Road, which is a ministry. We appreciate both of you gentlemen coming in. And I know you've done some songwriting. Do you sing as well?
Yes, sing songs that, I used to just sing nothing but in the honky-tonks and bars,
That's
about
right.
drinking, and that was the right thing. Now, God gives me these songs, and I just think about what an awesome God He is, and
Well,
how He can change everything about you.
Will we hear you singing
Yes,
at
you will.
Faith?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're looking forward to you being there,
All
too.
right. So I was wondering if we were gonna get entertained too with your singing
Sure.
and playing. Did you have a group with you, or is it
No,
just
it's
you?
just me, and,
Okay.
yeah, my songs are actually, they're testimonies also of what happened in my life.
Will they be with you?
What's that?
Your children, your son,
no,
you
no.
say?
No.
Okay. All right.
So,
But yeah, you do have quite a story to tell. Again, this is Mr. Jerry Clemens, and we thank you so much for coming in. And you too, Mr. Willis. We appreciate you taking time out of your day.
we thank you for having us.
Absolutely, happy to. And of course, anybody involved with your ministry, I know you said it's not just Elbert County, it's kind of branches out into some of the surrounding counties, and that's a tough ministry. I mean, it takes somebody to go into the prisons or jails,
I
and
believe it, yeah.
It's
but
rewarding.
I'm sure it is. Yeah,
It has been a blessing to me.
I know it has. And you doing your works and going over, I'm sure you touch a lot of people's lives as well. But incredible story here from Mr. Clemens and your wife. She'll be with you.
Yes, she
She's
will.
here today, but it's a little camera shy, and that's all right. We don't blame you for that, but you can meet her
She
at
with me
Faith as well.
everywhere I go, yeah, so.
Yeah, but don't miss his incredible story. If you're not familiar with where Faith Baptist is, it is on the way from Elberton into Bowman, right there on Highway 17, just on the left before you get into Bowman, June the 25th at 7 p.m. So, is there anything else you would like to share before we wrap things up today?
I better not tell anything else, I guess.
I know it's like a preview to a movie. You don't want to give everything away or they won't come see it.
Right. I just feel so blessed. This is what the Lord has called me to do, and so I'm willing to go anywhere, anytime. And I'm free to talk to people. It don't matter if you're in Walmart or, because, hey, this is what He wants us to do. But it's just a calling I have, just like Dale here has a calling with ministry he's in, and it's just, I get excited every time I get a call to go somewhere. I just can't wait to get there,
You
So
sure?
I'm really looking forward to this on the 25th.
Great, thank you, and thank you so much. We both appreciate you being here. And I know sometimes it's probably tough to revisit some memories, but
Sometimes, I didn't tell the story about my daughter for so long, and my wife said, you need to tell that story. And because it has such an impact on
it
people.
is very impacting.
For what came of it later about the forgiveness. And so once I started, it has made a difference in people's lives. Sometimes I can tell it just, don't have any problem telling it. Sometimes it's just almost like it just happens.
I know it is, and I cannot imagine.
But God will, you know, that's what he wants me to do, so
That's right.
he'll see me through it
Mhm.
every time.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Again, we don't want to miss this testimony of Mr. Jerry Clemens, Faith Baptist Church, June 25th, 7 p.m. And again, thank you both, gentlemen, for being here
Thank you.
with us today. We appreciate that. And we appreciate you tuning in to Neighborhood Connection. And we will see you next time.